Welcome to the Talk the Talk Club, where I talk about anything and everything. And today's episode is called Fame and Gang. Growing up, I lived in the ghetto, the hood, the slums, projects, whatever you want to call it. And never once in my life did I want to actually be there. I always wanted to get out of there. And even till this day, I say I would live anywhere, but I will never go back to the hood. Never. And I remember growing up in the west side of Harlem, I will always see different rappers. You know, I seen Fat Joe, Inspector Deck, and even the Diplomats. The thing that was always in my mind was, why are these people still in the hood when they have the money to get out? And they had the money. And that fast forwards everything to what's going on now. The more I look at rap, the more I see people dying over and over again. We see the same scenario. Rappers getting money and coming back to the block. For what reasons? I have no clue. I feel like unless you're giving out food or shoes, something for children, some type of charity work, there is no reason for you to just be hanging out in the hood, especially when you have the money to not be there at all. They come up with this crap called, I'm motivating them. I'm showing them what they can get, what they can have, what they can accomplish. It's like a hood trophy pulling up in a foreign. It's a hood trophy to see me with all this ice on. It's BS. That's what it is. Because in the words of Boosie, all you do is hypnotize them with hate. You go to the hood, you flash your money, flash your car, and then you leave. But while you going back to your nice house, they're stuck there and they hate it. And it's even worse when you don't even try to help your homeboys out. Not saying that you have to, but if they have some type of skill or they coming to you trying to learn something to better themselves so they can get out the hood too, and you don't do anything about it, that envy becomes worse. So for all you rappers, there is no point for you to come back to the hood just to hang out. It's not cool. To the ignorant people, you're kind of selling them a dream. You're like, yeah, I could be a dope boy, killer, straight murderer, ice and everything, and come to the hood and still be chilling there. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. When a lot of the times, the rappers that you see, they got security all the time. And them having security doesn't make them soft or anything like that. But it just goes to show you that they have some type of common sense enough to know that anybody can get touched. Doesn't matter who you are. You can be the most superest gangster ever. But if somebody catch you off guard, that's the end of you. But some rappers, I feel like they just like to put themselves in harm's way. If I had the money that they have or claim to have, you wouldn't see me nowhere near the hood at all. Not at all. I would take the long way around. Not because I'm soft. It's because I never want to go back. Ever. The only time I will ever go back is if I'm doing charity work. You would never see me just hanging with the homies, kicking it. Because there's too many rappers who died in their own city trying to do that. If you want to stay in touch, meet them somewhere else outside the hood. Like, you want to go chill at the restaurant? Or, hey man, you want to go to a party in a nice area? Or anything is better than just hanging out there. When I was young, I had dreams of getting out there. Like, growing up in the hood, I saw people getting stabbed, crackheads in the hallway. My elevator, every time you would open it, there wouldn't be nothing in there. It would be a straight drop. And a person died in my building because they opened the elevator door without looking and just dropped down to the ground. There was nothing nice about it. The only good thing that could come to mind Growing up in the hood was that it made me more alert. It made me understand people's character. It made me figure out who I want to be next to and who I don't want to be next to. And it motivated me to realize in order to never come back to this place, you got to grind. You got to work harder. You got to think smarter. You got to do something that these people who here just breathing isn't doing. And for those who never grew up in the hood, but look at rap and try to glorify it and try to take trips to the hood just to get that feel, you are insane in the brain. If you were to go on the wrong block without any questions, they would blow your brains out without any questions. In my project, I grew up in Grant Housing on the west side of Harlem. They knew off the back who wasn't from the neighborhood and who was. And they were willing to fight people who were in the neighborhood. So imagine a stranger coming there. You wouldn't survive. They try to gentrify it now, but I grew up there in the 90s. I remember when the Bloods first came to my neighborhood and took over it. It wasn't a pretty sight at all. So for these people who listen to rap and they want to be hood and they want to go visit the hood and check everything out, go ahead and take yourself there if you want to. I guarantee you will never want to go back again. And if you're going there trying to stun on people, I've seen some terrible things happen. Don't follow the rappers. They can afford the security. They can afford to pay whoever they want to. They can do all that. Can you? I don't think so. Just like I find it very strange that some artists wait till they get money, get fame, and then start game banging. What is the point in that? To be a rich game banger? And I don't mean like people who were already doing that in the streets and then happen to, make it in music. I'm talking about people who are already in the music industry and just decide, hey, I want to be a part of this gang. What is the point in that? You're going to check out your OG at your mansion and come all the way down to the slums and see how he's doing. Like, it's the most ignorant thing I've ever seen. Like, are you going to be gang banging on your tour days off, riding for the homies when you're not at the studio recording, having shootouts when you're not at the award show or something? Like, dude, what is this foolishness? And I'm not going to say rappers are getting extorted or anything like that, because I don't know who is or who isn't. But we've seen this before. Rappers randomly start gangbanging. It's like they want to live this lifestyle and they have the capital to say whatever they want and do whatever they want and hire the security if they want and just go on full GTA mode out of nowhere. If I have money, even if I was a part of a gang at the moment, I'm not gang banging. I'm going to be straight deactivated. There's no reason for me. In my neighborhood, you got jumped into a gang, whether you wanted to be in one or not. It wasn't a choice. Because if you wasn't in one, you're probably getting jumped every day by 2 other gangs. Versus these people who just meet somebody or know somebody. It's like, yeah, now that I got my music career starting and I'm finally getting paid and I'm out the hood, you know what I want to do? I want to gangbang. That's all that's left. I've done it all. It's time to gangbang. It doesn't make sense to me at all. And I just like to watch rappers and just see how they move and what they do and how they do it. And it's just an illusion. It's all an illusion. Like, even when rappers are talking about doing all these drugs and popping all these pills and shooting at these ops, they selling you a dream. If you were really on that many pills, I want to see you at your concert stumbling, looking high as a kite. If you shooting at the ops, I need you to get a RICO charge or something. Show me a body, take a picture of it, make it your album cover. Because if we're going to go insane, let's go fully insane. And these are one of those podcasts where I know I'm just rambling, but this is something that stays on my mind. And every time I see it, and every time I see a kid trying to be a gangbanger in a nice neighborhood, talking about shooting at the ops when he doesn't have an enemy in the world, it baffles me on why you would want to live that life if you don't have to. That's like being rich and robbing people in your neighborhood just because you don't really want what they got because you can afford it yourself, but you get some type of high and you get street credit in your mind. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. I'm going to tell you like this. Rappers are not the people you want to follow. Not saying all of them, but there's a lot you don't want to follow. Because what they're selling you isn't reality. And if you buy into that, it's going to end terribly for you. I'll tell you a story. There was this guy. He grew up listening to NWA. He loved the gang culture in LA. This kid never gang banged in his life or was doing any type of criminal activities in his life. He loved the LA life so much he moved down there to South Central. And you know what happened to him? They killed him. Yes, you heard me right. They shot him. So I say all of that to say this. Pick better role models. Try to be a doctor. Try to own your own business. Try to be an entrepreneur. Committing crimes when you don't have to because rappers do it. Being a strung out drug addict because you think it's cool. Shooting at the ops that you have in your mind. Trying to catch a body instead of an education isn't the way to go. Trust me, it isn't the way to go. So I just wanted to get that off of my chest and give you young people something to think about. You may not get it on the first listen, but my God, listen 3 times so it can penetrate your brain. So once again, this is the Talk the Talk Club. Please subscribe. And yes, this is one of my rants.